What's going on, guys? My name is Faris Khan. I'm a certified strength and conditioning specialist, and today I'll be answering one of the most asked questions in the fitness industry. Does lifting stunt growth for the youth? Now let's go find out. So without beating around the bush, I'm gonna tell you straight up, the answer is no. Lifting does not stunt your growth. This is a myth. It is a huge misconception that people have had for decades. Whoever came up with this claim has done a disservice to so many kids and parents across the world. And the crazy thing is, even though this has been talked about for so long, there has been zero studies that show lifting will stunt the growth in youth. There's actually the complete opposite. There are tons of studies and research that finds that lifting is actually good for the youth and that it has no correlation with stunting their growth. So even though all the research is there, why are parents today still so cautious and fearful of having their kids lift? And that is rightfully so. Parents should always be cautious in what their kids do, but I blame it on a lack of education and just listening to the wrong people. I remember when I first started working with the youth back in 2015, I was working with kids from ages 5 all the way up until about 12. And the very first thing the head coach told me was, do not do any resistance training with these kids. All I'm allowed to work on is speed, agility, and some plyometrics. That was it. And I didn't ask any questions. I did exactly what I was told. The kids were happy, parents were happy, and we just all went on our day. Now looking back at it, I'm asking why. I don't know if it's because the head coach didn't understand, or maybe it was because he just wanted to make the parents happy. And obviously if the parents happy, then the program continues. But either way, now that I look back at it, it was a disservice to those children, because if their parents were properly educated on all the potential benefits that resistance training has on their kids, those kids could be in a completely different place today, nearly 10 years later. And of course, they did get some benefit from the stuff they did do, but think of how much they left on the table. And unfortunately today, there's still so many coaches who have that old mentality and think that lifting is bad for the youth because it's going to stunt their growth. But on the flip side, there are a bunch of coaches who have shown that it's actually good for you. A couple months ago, I visited my buddy Dane Miller from Garage Strength, who is an incredible coach, extremely knowledgeable, coaches athletes of all levels. But one thing that really stuck out to me was in his gym, he had a banner of strength records of all different age groups. This guy is training people from age 5, middle school, high school, literally all ages. And some of these records from 10-year-olds and 13-year-olds, they're outlifting the average 18-year-old. And the amazing thing about all these youth athletes that he trained, most of them go on to be NCAA athletes, D1, and professional level athletes. So it just goes to show, if your child is doing the correct things with the right supervision, they will develop greatly and turn into an amazing athlete. So now what I want to do is I want to take a look at the research and provide you guys with the scientific evidence of the benefits of resistance training on the youth. This first study that we're going to look at was done in 2006, and they're looking at the effects of weight training in the youth in terms of their growth, maturation, and their safety. In this study, they utilize a bunch of different forms of resistance training, mainly free weights and machines. And the findings were that throughout all the different protocols of resistance training, whether it was from free weight or machine, that with supervision and low instruction, it was relatively safe and had zero negative impact on their growth and maturation. The second study we're going to look at was done in 2012, and it takes a look at the effects of weight training in the youth and what it does for their long-term athletic development. Now, this is a great study, and it's very unique because they studied a wide range of ages from age 6 all the way up to age 15. And depending on what age they were put in a specific group or stage where they did different things, whether it was just learning the fundamentals, whether it was teaching weightlifting, or whether it was doing performance-based weightlifting. The findings of this study were as follows. Despite all the previous misconception, weightlifting for youth is safe and an effective training modality to enhance physical literacy, muscular strength, and explosive power. The research also speculated on the potential injury prevention benefits that weightlifting may provide to young athletes, and it confirms that previously reported risk factors can be reduced or eliminated with appropriate supervision and instruction from qualified coaches. So not only does it have all those benefits, but it can also help prevent injury, and there was zero findings that when done correctly, this is going to hurt them, their growth, or going to make them injured. So this study right here research shows that as long as these kids are lifting properly with supervision, that they're gonna see gains in their strength, explosive power, it's gonna prevent injury, and it's not gonna stunt their growth. And the third study I wanna look at was done in 2009, and this takes a look at the effects of resistance training on young athletes and any impact that it has on their safety, injury prevention, and growth. And after going through a large amount of data, it was concluded that resistance training in youth had zero evidence showing that it had any negative impact on growth, and it did not put these young athletes at any higher rate of injury. And that's just 3 studies that we looked at. There's literally numerous studies and so much research that shows lifting does not stunt growth. Now, I want to quickly go over some of these other benefits that I found throughout these studies. First off is that lifting will have a positive impact on neuromuscular coordination. Neuromuscular coordination is essentially your brain's ability to tell your muscles to recruit muscle fibers and perform a specific action. With resistance training, these athletes were able to recruit these muscle fibers faster and in a more coordinated manner. And in turn, this could lead to greater athletic performance and enhance injury prevention even further. Another benefit was strength gains. And the stronger a muscle is, then the greater that muscle is going to be able to produce and absorb force. Not only that, it's going to improve the rate of force development within the muscle, which also has a positive impact on other athletic skills such as sprinting and jumping. And another benefit that resistance training had on these youth was that it was better for their mental health and it helped them develop healthy habits. Resistance training helped them manage their stress, it helped them develop consistency and build confidence, which is going to help trickle out through all aspects of their life. So in conclusion, we have found that lifting does in fact not stunt growth in youth and actually has tons of benefits which we have just covered. So if you want to see your kid have long-term athletic success, it can be wise for you to have them start a resistance training program while they are younger. And the most important thing you need to focus on when it comes to weightlifting in the youth is safety. Make sure that they are lifting with proper technique, make sure they understand rest, make sure they understand how to progress. If you do not know how to supervise your own child, then hire them a coach. Make sure that the coach knows what they're talking about, and you will be able to see some great benefit as long as they're doing everything correctly. If you are interested in one-on-one coaching or a custom program for yourself, your child, or someone that you love, go ahead and click the link in the description down below, fill out the application, and we'll start your journey today. Hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and share it with everybody else who you think can benefit. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section down below. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future content. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys soon.